So let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap, right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure that we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to avoid slouching or leaning, but we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. Then begin to let go of attending to the outside, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. Constraining the awareness just to the body and mind, concentrating that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting your awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, we generate abroad an altruistic motivation for our time, thinking of using this time to establish and deepen constructive, beneficial ways of thinking and acting, ways that allow oneself to remain connected to a sense of peace and ease, cultivating states of mind that naturally, spontaneously give rise to actions that are beneficial for others. Thinking too of reducing and ultimately eliminating the influence of states of mind that are not beneficial or constructive, those that agitate and disturb one's own peace of mind, those that often naturally, spontaneously give rise to actions that cause harm to others. And wanting to engage in this process of genuine inner transformation to be of greater and greater benefit to sentient beings. And with that motivation, today we will conclude the contemplations on the non-virtues of mind. So previously we looked at ways of using our body and our speech unskillfully in ways that can give rise to harm. There are also ways of just using the mind without the need for the body or the speech. And we also need to be vigilant, recognizing the arising of these states. So the first is the mind of covetousness. The mind of covetousness is similar to a greedy mind, the mind of dissatisfaction, but it's particularly focused on things that belong to others. Observing the possessions or even the jobs, the situations, the relationships that are possessed by others and wanting them for oneself. Often can give rise to trying to obtain these possessions or similar versions of them. I think back over the last few years and try to think about whether your mind goes to that mode of covetousness. You often find yourself thinking that I wish I had that. I wonder how I could get that. What role does this mind of dissatisfaction play in your own life? And then imagine in those situations in which some covetousness has arisen that you were able to respond with a mind of rejoicing, seeing the ripening of positive karma in the possessions of others, and just delighting in their good fortune. See if you can pick some of those objects and delight in the good fortune of others, that they were able to create the causes and conditions to experience. And the next non virtue is ill will or malice. This is simply thinking about the ways in which we intend to get even with those that have, in our minds, wronged us in some way. Thinking of something that we could say or do to hurt their feelings, to make them feel the way that they made us feel. We may or may not actually engage in an overt action, but at this stage, we've put things in motion just by contemplating, planning, and we've become more familiar with the wish to cause harm, setting up tendencies that will lead to suffering. Try to think over the past few months when you've had unkind thoughts, getting a sense of what might trigger that. And then imagine applying antidotes that would reverse that tendency, perhaps recollecting their kindness over beginningless past lives, reminding yourself of the disadvantages of anger, advantages of cherishing others, and the importance of practicing patience in the face of difficult circumstances. And try to get a sense of what tools you have available to argue against the mind of ill will when it arises. And then the last non virtue of mind or wrong views. Wrong views or not, having a questioning attitude or a skeptical mind or having doubt. It's being completely closed off, being certain that the spiritual teachings of the Buddha are wrong. We may think that enlightenment is impossible, or we may not think that there's a strong ethical dimension to our lives, no real sense of cause and effect, as long as I don't get caught. Or we may be completely opposed to the idea that things lack intrinsic, inherent existence. Investigate if you feel like you have places where you're completely closed off, not willing to explore. And try to see the advantage of an open, curious mind, a mind that's willing to investigate, a mind that's willing to change, and try to cultivate that attitude, one that opens doors rather than closes them. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together and we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in the mind. Think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy, for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly, when this positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war, conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions, May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. May I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you